Who says you're taking that line out of context? No, 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 my friend. You don't understand the full.
It's still tone deaf. Now let me explain full critique with all the context.
See, the issue isn't the context. The issue is the lack of context.
Now, sonically, I actually really like the album. It's not meant for people who want banger after banger. It's meant for readers. If you like to read and you like the slow subtleties of enjoying a good book, this is a book in the form of music, hence why it's called the anthology. So from a musical standpoint, I actually really like it. Both the lyricism, sonically, the melodies, the production. You have to like the slow burn of it to really understand and love it. It's for people who like to read. If you like to read, you'll like this album. If you don't like to read, you won't like this album. That being said, my friend, that is still tone deaf. I say this with love. Okay, now let me explain. The entire album is a critique of the Industrial Revolution and women's suffragism. Clearly, some of you guys don't take my history courses.
I'm not a historian, but I know enough. If you look at the motifs of the music videos, the lyric videos, all of it, it's centered around the typewriter, right?
These poets that were tortured and suffered, whatever, is a critique on the labor and the productivity that's required from both men and women as like their inherent roles as part of capitalism. Hence, the typewriter was a technological advancement that happened that liberated women, primarily white women, to financial independence and freedom. But that's the issue. The entirety of this story and feminism is written in the critique in the eyes of white women. That, my friend, is inherently privilege, because while she centered her story around this white man, whether that's on a superficial level, like the current romantic relationships that she's having with these mid-men, I'm sorry, I've seen these men, they're mid. Anywho, or it's a greater critique of the American capitalistic society that we're in and the Industrial Revolution and women's suffragism and the whatever tortured poets. The problem is that the call is coming from inside the house, my friend. And I mean that literally, because to enjoy the privilege of having a typewriter and to write an entire album on 19th century America and England is privilege. Because you're not acknowledging the storylines of the black and brown people that exist, whether that's the Native Americans, Hispanics, black people, the core foundations of what led you to have that privilege while you're sitting at your typewriter. So when someone says, no, you don't understand the context, look at the paragraph, tell them to look at the entire album. Tell them to look at the motifs. Tell them to watch the music videos. Tell them to look at the lyrics. Tell them to look at the motifs. And you, my friend, can go easily look up the history of the typewriter. It's centered around white womanhood, and that is the greater motif. So don't tell me I don't know the context. Thanks. How's that for context? Thank you. Now, do I think Taylor is racist? No. Do I think someone could have looked at this album and easily told her this critique? Absolutely. Where are your brown friends? Where's Ice Spice? Girl, get some historians on your team. But that's just me. What do I know? And might I add, I'm more interested in what's going on at Columbia University and the students that are protesting. So I'm going to go back to that after